Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another live, y'all. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. Let me pull up the chat here so I can actually see what y'all be commenting about here. But I hope everyone is doing good. It's good to have you guys here back for another update. So we actually have a little bit of a clipper system that is getting ready to drive its way across bits of the country. Like the Ohio Valley as well as the Mid-Atlantic here, we're going to be seeing ourselves a little bit of snow. But anyways, what's up, Roach? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is good with ya. But yeah, we actually do have a little bit of things we need to talk about today. So in this live stream, we're going to talk about, obviously, the Clipper system. That's going to be the main thing. We're also going to talk about the future weather patterns, like what we can expect here in the future with everything going on, and basically what we could see here next with all the weather and stuff here. But anyways, it's so good to see you guys. I was actually working on a video yesterday, which I need to finish it here probably today or tomorrow. I'll probably have it uploaded tomorrow. But I'm basically doing a video going over like 10 different weather programs and like doing a tier list. Have you guys ever seen those like tier list videos where people like, rate stuff? I'm doing that with weather programs here, and I'm actually gonna be doing that for, well, it'll be out probably tomorrow, I'm thinking, but I've already started on it yesterday. I need to finish it up today or tomorrow, but I'll get to that later on. Anyways, what's up, y'all? What's up, Scott? Saying hi, Andrew, and everyone else. What's up? What's up, Hockey? Good to see ya. But anyways, we're gonna dive on into it, y'all. So we actually do already have a little bit of advisories that have been issued here by the National Weather Service here. So areas like northern Kentucky, we do have portions of southeastern Indiana, southern Ohio, bits of the kind of central northern portions of West Virginia. We do have a couple of winter weather advisories out here. For West Virginia, this includes like Morgantown, areas like Clarksburg, Elkins, Harrisville, as well as Elizabeth out there. And then for southern Ohio, it includes obviously like Cincinnati, Hamilton, Parkersburg's in Parkersburg's in West Virginia, but out by like Athens and, some of those regions on the far southern side here of Ohio. And then for Kentucky, we do have areas like Louisville, Lexington, Frankfort included, Maysville, Independence, so for pretty much the northern sides of Kentucky here, as well as, like we mentioned here, southern Indiana too, which includes like Columbus here, areas out there by like Madison, Indiana. So that is where we do have a couple of advisories. Now, they're basically just giving us heads up. We could see between 1 to 3 inches in some of these areas, which honestly we're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of accumulation here at the storm, but it is going to be at least a little bit of a clipper, and it could cause a little bit of local issues here, maybe a little bit of travel disruptions and stuff like that. So I mean, it's definitely worth mentioning. Anyway, so let's bring up our radar here. We're gonna hop you guys over here to the models here real quickly. We're gonna pull up the precip type reflectivity here. So we're going to pull up the RRFS. This is a high resolution model. This is actually a newer model. The RRFS is going to be actually overtaking the NAM model some point this year, which they're actually getting rid of the NAM model at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, but they did say early 2026, so it could be at any time. But yeah, so we're actually using the RRFS here. Now, it's going to be starting here pretty much here later on. So this is really starting here for pretty much Tuesday morning is when we're going to be seeing this storm starting to kick off here. So as we approach, 4 a.m. for Tuesday, you can see a little bit of snow showers possible out there by the Midwest region, like Iowa, maybe Nebraska, southeastern, South Dakota, maybe areas like Illinois could be seeing maybe a little bit of snow. But we work our way later on into pretty much the afternoon of Tuesday. Now, by the time we get to the afternoon, you can see here, according to the RRFS model, that we actually do see a little bit of snow starting to fall, across, once again, Illinois, portions of Indiana, maybe Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, here for 12 p.m. on Tuesday, so for noon. What's up, Robin? Good to see you. What's up, Calvin? What's up, Free Thinking? Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. But anyway, so then we work our way later on into Tuesday. So by 4 p.m., at this point, we're definitely likely starting to see some heavy snow falling, especially out there by areas like Louisville, Kentucky. Likely seeing quite a bit of snow falling out here. So for northern Kentucky, still southern Indiana, portions of Ohio on the southern end. Actually, some of it's starting to likely work its way in towards the mountains up here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Around the later afternoon, early evening of Tuesday, probably going to be seeing a little bit of snow. So then we push our way over here into right around 8 o'clock p.m. At this point, it's still snowing up here for central eastern Kentucky, central southern West Virginia, as well as it's snowing pretty good for the western sides of Virginia here in general. Around this time as well, we could be having a bit of rain mixing in. As a matter of fact, bits of the south are going to be dealing with, a bit of rainy conditions out there. I mean, all the way from Texas, cutting up through, Louisiana, cutting up through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and so on. So a little bit of rain will obviously be involved here with this system here as well. But then we approach our way over here into midnight for Wednesday. So for midnight by Wednesday, we should mostly be out Kentucky should be mostly out of the snowfall here at this point. Likely still getting maybe a little bit of snowfall out there by southwestern Virginia, southern, central West Virginia. Still likely snowing quite a bit for central and northern Virginia, as well as areas like Maryland and even a little bit of Delaware, likely seeing a bit of snowfall at this point as well. So then we continue to work our way over here into basically 6 a.m. It'll start to kind of wane down a little bit in terms of intensity and stuff like that. The overall coverage of the snow will start to really, start to kind of stop here at this point in time here. And then everything should be out by the later morning of Wednesday. So, like I mentioned, it's just kind of a quick little clipper system, just going to come by, maybe dump a little bit of snowfall. So, we're going to get into totals here right in a second. Heard you got flurries in Florida over the weekend. I didn't see them personally, but there was some nearby. Yes, there was. Let's see here. Don't tell me Virginia Beach is going to get more snow. So Virginia Beach might get a few flurries. I mean, it's certainly possible, but it's not going to be anything heavy. Now, that one's hard to say. The RRFS model does show that we could see, a bit of snowfall for North Carolina actually here. Now, we're going to compare this to the HRRR in a minute, but it does show a little bit of snowfall popping off here pretty much Wednesday afternoon, evening, maybe a little bit more snow. I mean, it's not going to be as heavy as that last one we just had, but it could be a little bit more snow for some of those regions here. Here, let's pull up the HRRR. It's good to compare models. It's never really good to just look at one specifically. So here's the HRRR, showing that system roll through. Heavy snow up in northern Kentucky, kind of rolls through here, goes up through Virginia. I mean, they're fairly close to one another. And then, as we approach our way over here into kind of the afternoon, evening of Wednesday, you could see maybe a little bit of rain still falling, but it doesn't get to the point where the snow would be falling according to the RRFS model. So, what we're going to do, we're actually going to compare these real quickly. So we'll have the HRRR on the left, and we'll have the RRFS on the right model here. That way, we can kind of have like a direct side-by-side comparison, so we can kind of see, what the models agree on, and essentially what they end up disagreeing on here as well. So, anyways, so that is that. So here is the two comparisons. Once again, the HRRR's on the left, the RRFS is on the right here. So, I mean, you can say that they're fairly in sync here with one another. I mean, the confidence is pretty good, on this little clipper system rolling through. It definitely looks quite possible. I'm going to get rid of this pen here, so get that out of the way. But yeah, you can see it's pretty darn similar here. Honestly, it looks like the RRFS has the snow a little bit further south, maybe, as comparing to the HRRR. Then, of course, as we roll into pretty much the morning of Wednesday, it looks like they're looking a little bit different here. Still maybe a little bit of snow out there by southern West Virginia, southwestern Virginia. Still probably snowing somewhere either in central or northern Virginia here, which you can see that the RRFS shows a bit more snow for like central Virginia at this time for really early Wednesday morning. And also showing, a bit more snow to the north, according to the HRRR. So there's a little bit of a disagreement there, and also a little bit more snow up further north, according to HRRR here too. But, I mean, generally speaking, they're relatively in sync here for the most part. By the time the RRFS has all the snow out, I mean, it's still probably snowing in eastern Virginia. So there's a little bit of differences, not to mention maybe even a little bit more mountain snow there from the HRRR as comparing to the RRFS. So obviously there's, still a little bit of disagreement, but at least for like the first half of the storm, it's pretty much in sync here. Let's see. Frankie says, no snow here in Live Oak, just freezing temperature. Yeah, we actually on my Mesonet, my weather station I have outside, I actually recorded the temperatures getting down to as low as 24.3 degrees. Not last night, but the night before last. Last night here in Lakeland, Florida, it got down to, 27.4, I think it was. I mean, it wasn't as cold, but still, 27 degrees in Central Florida is ridiculously wild. I mean, you guys, yeah, I mean, for you guys up north, I mean, this is typical, but for us down here, this rarely happens in Central Florida. I mean, it rarely gets this cold. I mean, it's bad. Yeah, tonight I think it's not supposed to get as cold, but I think we are gonna definitely get a little bit chilly still. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, speaking of Florida, we're probably gonna get a little bit of rain coming up here too with the trailing cold front of this system. From this clipper here, as you guys can see. I mean, this thing just rolls through, and you can see, I mean, both models do show this cold front kind of rolling through, so we'll probably get a little bit of rain across Florida from this system here, probably starting on Wednesday. From the way that it looks here. So, anyways, all right, let's pull up those accumulations. I know I was wanting to do that here, so let me pull that up. There we go. Short range dual panel snowfall. Oh, this is literally what I just had. Or is it? Hold on a minute. Oh no, this is a mixture of reflectivity, I think, and the accumulation. Okay, I forgot I made this one here yesterday. So. Same thing, the RRFS model actually is on the left now, and the HRRR is on the right panel. Okay, so we're going to hop to the 18 UTC run, which is the latest long-range run here of these models. So we work our way down in time with these accumulations. So they're a little bit in disagreement, of course, in some areas, but, relatively the same idea overall. And you can see that, we'll be getting a little bit of snow. For the most part, a lot of areas are going to be seeing mostly 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, including areas out there by like central Kentucky and stuff like that. Here, we'll go ahead and mark that. So 1 to 3 inches out by pretty much central Kentucky, maybe southern Ohio. Maybe an inch or so in like southern Indiana. Now, once you get out towards West Virginia, that's actually kind of where the heaviest snowfall is going to be, as you can see. I mean, both models, matter of fact, actually shows some areas where we could be seeing more like 3 to 5 inches, kind of more towards really along the eastern side of West Virginia. You can see there's actually this one specific spot here between both models up here in the east central side of West Virginia where we actually could get like several inches, possibly maybe 4 to 6 inches or so, and maybe locally higher amounts being possible. So, yeah. Rose says, I'm glad nothing heavy. I just got my driveway cleaned off from the last clipper that came through. Gotcha. Well, that last one wasn't really more of a clipper. That was more of a nor'easter that you guys got. Yeah, the clippers, they're usually quick little systems and, relatively small. They're not really anything massive. But yeah, this isn't really big enough to be a quote-unquote winter storm, even though it is doing the same thing, dropping some snow, but it's not as crazy per se, but it still is enough to cause, a bit of impacts and, and stuff like that. So we still got to look out for it, but a little bit of snow will be expected here. Now, believe it or not, the RRFS, the HRRR shows some snow out by central Tennessee, which I don't know if that's going to happen. So, as you can see there on the bottom, so the RFS down here, the HRRR over here on the right panel, the HRRR wants there to be like some more snow showers on the back end here. This is for, what is this? This is for the morning of Wednesday, from the way it looks here, which is crazy. Anyways, but yeah, definitely there's a bit of a difference there. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But mostly speaking, they're relatively similar. Rose says, let's see, I know it was a nor'easter. It froze right after it snowed. Then it snowed more on top. Oh, did it? You got more after that? Wow. Rochi says, can I check the snowfall accumulation for the zip code? Yep, I got you, my friend. Let me pull that up real quickly. Let's see, you're up by DC area. Got you. All right, so, oops. All right, so according to these two models, it doesn't look like you're going to be having much. Honestly, between these two models, it shows less than an inch. So, I would say a trace to an inch is most likely. You probably won't see that much accumulations out of this here. I mean, yeah, like I said, both of these models you can see less than an inch. The RRFS model shows maybe 2-3 tenths of an inch. Meanwhile, the HRRR shows maybe 3-4 tenths of an inch or so. So yeah, there's obviously a pretty big difference there. With those accumulations overall. So I really personally wouldn't expect any more than an inch of snowfall. I think you'll probably see a lot less than that. Just the current way that the models are looking. It seems like a lot more of the snow is going to be a bit further to the south per se, more out by like central Virginia and whatnot. So, anyways, but yeah, so definitely, I mean, we'll see a little bit of something, but probably not that much more. Or not that much in general here. All right, y'all. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop over to the long range. I'm going to go ahead and reset this entire window. We're going to bring up a single panel again here. So we're going to pull up the long range. We're going to take a look at future systems and what we could be seeing here, beyond this clipper. Now, obviously, I don't want to go too far down in time because, the further you go down in time, the more inaccuracies and everything starts to really arise. But here is the thing. And a matter of fact, I'm actually going to pull up a dual panel. Again, I'm not just going to do a single. We'll do a Euro and GFS here. So we'll grab our ECMWF model. We'll put that one on the right panel for you guys. And then we have the American model on the left panel here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and run both of the 12 Zulu UTC runs. So we'll go ahead and have those up and go on here. But anyways, all right, so precipitation, we'll pull up precip type just to kind of have a bit of a comparison here. Because once again, the more model opinions you can get, the better. Because, you have more different potential outcomes or different models and seeing what they agree on and what they essentially disagree on here. Anyways, so obviously Clipper system rolls through. That's to be expected. A little bit of rain in the south here because of it. So at 100 hours out, this is for Friday. Now, there is a little bit of snowfall. Well, you can see a lot of the country is pretty clear for the most part. But up here by the Ohio Valley, the northeast here. So apparently, there could be a little bit of snowfall coming down through the Ohio Valley. Now, the European model on the right obviously shows a lot more heavier snow than the model on the left. The American model on the left here shows a lot of snow showers, probably a bit of lake effect snow ongoing here. Maybe some of that snow reaching the mid-Atlantic potentially. But then you got the Euro on the right that really shows a lot more heavier snow. Following that, maybe a little bit of lake effect snow and stuff like that could occur. So, I mean, the way that it looks, that is a good possibility that we could see some snow once again out there by the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast here. That looks like that'll be happening Friday, kind of going into Saturday. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, starting pretty much late Thursday. Thursday going to Friday and throughout. It should be out by Saturday for the most part. So that'll be the next shot for you guys. But, like I mentioned, the west and the central country is relatively going to be quite, quite dry for the most part here. And obviously at this point in time, I don't want to go too much forward, but maybe some snowfall starting to go out west here at some point. Maybe early next week or so, and then of course we start to get a lot of disagreement because the further you go out, the more the models start to disagree here. But anyways, so that, my friends, is what it looks like. Rose says, let's see, my sister lives at zip code. She's on the Ohio River area. Gotcha. Let me see. This is up in Ohio. Okay, so this area is actually under a winter weather advisory. They could be seeing 1 to 3 inches of snow. Locally, higher amounts possible. It's enough to cause maybe a little bit of travel disruptions. But yeah, we'll probably be getting a little bit of snow out here. Southern Ohio, northern Kentucky has a pretty decent shot at seeing, a couple of inches worth of snow here with this system. Absolutely. But anyways, so that's that. Here, let's hop back over here. Actually, I just realized I wasn't even on that one panel. But anyways, let's hop back over here to the snow comparison here. Once again, the RRFS model on the left, the American HRRR on the right. Well, they're both American models, but the HRRR on the right, the RRFS on the left here. So, once again, with where we stand now, models don't really show that much more than maybe 1 to 3 inches for like Kentucky and Southern Ohio and stuff. 1 to 3 inches for Southern Ohio, Central Eastern Kentucky, maybe 1 to locally higher amounts being possible. Some of the heaviest accumulations here with this little clipper, once again, is probably going to be over by West Virginia, I'm thinking. Central Eastern West Virginia here. So, anyways, that is that. Let's see here. Rose says I'm sending her video now. Sounds good. Yep, sounds good. Yeah, so there could be some impacts out by her. So that is going to be a possibility. But it's not going to be like a full-blown winter storm, like we've seen previously, with that other system that we had. It's not going to be anything like that they got, not too long ago. They definitely got hit pretty hard, I believe, with that one storm. Not the last nor'easter that you got, but the previous big one that we tracked before, the one with the big ice and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that area got hit pretty hard. Sounds good, Rose. Calvin says, see, in Houston, where I live, finally back to warmer weather, and those hard freezes were brutal. They certainly were. They're still happening here in Florida, unfortunately. It is slowly warming up, though, which I'm very thankful for. But, that's actually another thing, guys. I hate to tell you all this. I made a video on this yesterday, but I hate to mention this, but there might be even more cold air coming down. Let me pull up our 2-meter temperature anomaly. So this is our temperatures. The blue indicates cooler than usual temperatures for this time of the year, and the red shows warmer than usual, temperatures for this time of the year. So it's definitely going to be quite, quite cold here in the future. But anyway, so we work our way down in time. You can see here for Thursday morning, definitely going to be pretty cold. I mean, some areas, good 20, maybe 30 degrees below normal. But then if you look up north, you see this up here? There's another vortex coming down, which is going to make temperatures become even colder, maybe 30 to 40 degrees below normal for this time of the year up in the Northeast, which, it could probably get quite chilly here. Let's grab a sounding. I think that was up in New York there. I just kind of picked one and grabbed it. So this is the GFS, showing the temperature -20. What? Here, let me actually pull up the actual temps on the right panel here. So we'll have the anomaly on the left, and we'll have our actual 2-meter temperature on the right. Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, probably a good -10 to -20 here. This is showing for the morning of Saturday, with this big cool down coming down. Ohio, like out by Columbus, could be like -5, -6, according to the GFS model. It's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Here, let's switch over to the the ECMWF here to compare. Yeah, it seems like the Northeast here, with the euro is not as significant, maybe about -10 per se. We'll also pull up the temperature anomaly for the euro here as well. But still, yeah, it kind of shows maybe -30 degrees. So basically 30 degrees below typical conditions, which is crazy. But yeah, it's unfortunately, like I said, we got another push of cold air coming down, which is just what we need. But it looks like, I don't want to go too far down in time, but it looks like it could warm up maybe after that at some point. Maybe for next week. Not this week, but next week it should maybe warm up a little bit. I have no idea what Roll is saying because I don't speak Spanish, so I have no idea. If anybody wants to translate that, you can go ahead and do so. I have no idea what they're saying. But anyways, yeah, like I said, more cold air unfortunately is on the way for the East. Plus with that little clipper system. But other than that, not really a whole lot's going on. Thankfully, those really big systems are out of the way for now. I don't really see any other really big storm like the last two. I think maybe we have a little bit of a break, which I sure hope so. In terms of like the severe weather side of things, I don't think we have anything going on severe weather land either. Day 1, we don't got nothing. Day 2, we do have a general thunderstorm risk here. Yeah, a couple of booms of thunder here possible tomorrow for the green areas here, like Louisiana, eastern Texas, southern Arkansas, bits of Mississippi. Day 3, yeah, we don't got none going on there either. Day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, and day 8. Yeah, we're pretty clear actually from severe weather and stuff like that. I don't think we have enough instability for these storms to come through. Like here's the mixed layer cape. You can see all the instability here is pretty much just away from the U.S. here, honestly. Yeah, this is 180 hours out where we see maybe a little bit of instability, but yeah, at this point it's a little bit far out to tell. So that's definitely good. Definitely good. But all right, everybody. Well, I'm probably going to roll off here for now. Just wanted to do a quick little update. Yeah, we're actually a pretty short update today. Half-hour stream here for this evening. Like I said, things are calming down a little bit. We do got that clipper system. We got some colder air on the way and stuff like that. But anyways, all right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. You guys, if y'all are new to the channel, consider subscribing and leaving a like on your way out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, everybody, thank you all for stopping by. And all right, everybody, we'll see you all here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.